First tutorial of Deluxo Edition.net. My first tutorial is going to be about the basics, the overview, the icons of Sony Vegas. So if you are experienced with Sony Vegas, I wouldn't recommend watching this because it's going to be boring as hell for you guys. At the bottom of the screen we have what we call the timeline. This is where you're going to add the clips and the music you are going to use in your video. On the top right we have the video preview. This is where you're going to see your movie, and every edit, every camera zoom you're going to do will be visualized right here. On the top left is what I call the shortcuts within the shortcuts. Each of these tabs is going to be redirected to shortcuts. For example, in Explorer I can see every folder in my computer and every file I can use within Sony Vegas. And transitions, these are pre-made transitions by Sony Vegas which you can click and drag into the clips you are editing, but that's for another time. First, if you want to start off with a new movie, you need to go to File and press New. This is the project screen. I'm not going to be talking into this right yet now because this requires a new tutorial, because it's pretty important you need to have this right when you're gonna make the movie. So just press OK. This is basically the start of your movie. First we need some clips, so I'm gonna drag some random clip into it. Oh, this piece of shit loads. Because my Sony Vegas is very buggy. I'm using Sony Vegas 9.0 and other versions have other layouts. Like 6 and 7 have the video screen on the bottom of the screen and the timeline on the top. I don't think you can change the video preview to the bottom on Sony Vegas 9.0, but you get used to it because I always worked with 6 and 7 on some reasons, but I will explain on some other tutorials. I'm gonna drag it in. This is some random clip I just trapped for no reason. Now, as you can see on the timeline, we have two layers. The bottom one is the music. You can see the difference. The music one has 2 bars and the video one has 1 bar. This is, as you can see, the level of visualization. Also, another thing to notice is that the top one, the video one, has screenshots of the clip and the bottom has just bars of the sound, the volume. On the bottom of the timeline we have some icons. This is a record. Here you can just record your vocals. I never use this because I use other software for it, so just skip that. This is loop. If you can see on the top we have this gray bar and on the ends we have this yellow triangle. We're gonna place it right here. Press loop. And you see it turns blue. I'm just going to turn this down. And this is where it's gonna loop. I placed the cursor right here. Wait, just make it a bit small. It enters the blue zone now and it keeps repeating, as you can see. If I deactivate it, it just continues with my clip. So if you wanna make sure something is right, you need to use this and place it on a small area so you can see it's correct. Play from start. Plays from the start. Play. Plays from the cursor placement. Pause is pause. And the difference between stop and pause is I place this. Wait a second. Place this right here. Gonna play. And you see this black bar. Now I play. Now I press stop and it turns to that position. This goes to the beginning. This goes to the end. Alright. On the top, I'm going to explain the icons now. This is new project we just used here. This is where you can open if you don't like to use Explorer. This is save. This is if you want to save your project. It is not saving the movie as everyone can see it, just to be sure. This is save as you want to name it differently. This is render. This is making your movie be published so everyone can see it. I'm going to talk about this another time because it again requires a whole new tutorial. And this is the project settings, project properties. As I said, I'm going to explain it later on. I'm not gonna do this because this is the same thing in Notepad and Word, copy paste and that stuff. This is just redoing and redoing and undoing. But I need to explain this because these icons aren't in Word or Notepad or any software. So I'm gonna explain the first one. Enable snapping. I'm just cutting the clip. So this is what snapping is. If I enabled it, you can see I'm moving the clips closer. You can see this yellow line and it snaps together. If I deactivate it doesn't show the clip, so I can just go over it without any warning. I usually have this on because it's better. It just, you know, you can feel it because it gets heavier, your mouse, if you want to override it. Automatically crossfades. If you just did like this, and you see if I play it now, it switches to the other clip. If I use automatic crossfades and I do it again, you can see this curve in it. What happens now? It crossfades to the other clip. I always have this on. I really need this because I also can see the two different clips. Auto ripple. This is, I never use this. I'm gonna show what it is. Auto ripple is it's pushing basically, because if I click this, enabled auto ripple, it moves the other clips beyond the first clip. If I have it off, you can see I'm just moving the one I have. So I always use this off because I know what I'm moving around. And if you want to move 2 or more clips, you can just hold down shift, press 2 and go. So it's useless to me. Lock envelopes to events. I'm not gonna explain this right now because this as well requires a new tutorial. No event grouping. This is also going to be explained on another tutorial, but for now, if you want to start with Vegas, turn them off because you don't need them. As I said, if you're just starting with Sony Vegas, always use this one, normal edit tool, because if you use this one, I'm going to show it to you. Actually, you can basically see it with right clicking. If I just use the normal one and press right here, you can see these kind of options. There's this one. You can see less and other ones, and I can explain not tutorial. This is just selection. I also never use this. This is zooming. This is where you fuck up your shit. So never press this one again. You can restore it by pressing this. So I would again never use it because this is the right format. These are tutorials if you need some other help with Sony Vegas own made tutorials. And this is the old school help. Click on it and it displays what help with unmade within Sony Vegas. Right, anything? Yeah, I'm gonna talk about the video preview as well, because if you're editing, maybe you wanna go, maybe you wanna start messing around yourself. So, still this one. Yeah, still. If you wanna be experimenting with Sony Vegas, you can maybe see that, I don't know what kind of PC you have, of course, but lower ones like mid-range, low-range computers mostly have lag issues with the video preview, but you can change that. You can see there are 4 different options. The only ones I use are draft and preview. I'm gonna show the difference between this is preview. Always set to auto. I don't know why that full. And you see I have draft. If I put this on auto, it becomes very blurry, but it moves smoother. I don't know if you see the difference on my PC, but tiny bit. But if you have a low range or mid-range PC, you will notice the difference a lot. Maybe I can show it to you when I'm full screening it. Switch to draft. And I can't really see it. But just it changes the quality of the video preview. So if you want to test out zooms, you can like zooms and not really edits, because if you're editing and using draft, the edits will become very ugly, and it isn't even the edit you're gonna see in rendering full, because it will change completely, and I will show that in another tutorial. This tutorial is mainly about the overlayer and the icons of Sony Vegas. Well, thanks for watching, and the next tutorial is going to be out how to render and using the right rendering options, the right project properties to get a movie on high quality, mid-range quality, what kind of quality you want. I'm also going to be talking about test, preview, rendering, because if you make some edits into a movie and you want to see if it's gonna look good, you can render it in very low resolution and quality, so you can check it out. That's for another time. Thanks for watching and goodbye guys.